Hi, Rosemary.
Hi.
Hi. So I'm here with Rosemary, who is a shamanic healer, and you run shamanic retreats at Healing Water Sanctuary. And we're under the trees in my garden, and it's very strong sunlight. We were trying to get out of the bright sun so that you could see us well, or that we didn't look like. Oh, your power animal has just flown by. Did you see that?
Oh, I heard it. I heard it. What was it?
I'm not sure if it was a pigeon or a crow.
Oh, I'm happy with either. That's fine.
Okay. The garden's full of both. We've got so many jackdaws here. It's incredible.
Yes,
like
I can hear them.
Huge swirling clouds of jackdaws.
They're constantly talking and chattering.
Yeah. So what does that mean, jackdaws?
Jackdaws are a crow energy, basically. So it's their own particular kind of spin on crow energy. Crow energy is very much to do with, one of the things it's to do with is helping to break down heavy energy, because they tend to eat carrion. So it's about breaking down heavy energy within ourselves.
Yeah.
But jackdaws are very communal birds and very talkative and funny little characters as well, quirky.
Yeah.
So they have lots of lovely traits that we can observe.
Oh right, I think of that when I'm sitting in the healing gardens and watching these huge erupting clouds of jackdaws.
That's
and
right.
They're making so much noise. And
Group energy perhaps.
Yeah, and you can hear them now. I don't know if you can get that on the video, but in the background there's a constant jackdaw chatter.
That's right.
So anyway, we weren't here to discuss birds or whatever, but I'm here to introduce Rosemary. And do you want to give your surname?
Rosemary Taylor.
Rosemary Taylor, yes. But you use the Sacred Hill as a...
Oh, that's right. Yes, Sacred Hill Shamanic Healing is the kind of title that I go under.
Yeah, it's lovely.
On my website.
And is that because we live on Retrieval Hill? Which is a sacred hill where Joseph of Arimathea came and planted his staff in Glastonbury.
Correct.
Which has been in the news a lot lately.
Yes.
So Rosemary has been a shamanic healer since 2002.
Yeah. So that's 17 years.
A long time. And I knew you quite a while before you came along and then did my training.
Yes. Yeah, familiar faces in Glastonbury.
Yeah. And since then I've had a time to appreciate Rosemary even more, because you came to Healing Waters and started offering your shamanic retreats and your shamanic work.
Yes, correct.
So for those that don't know, what is shamanism?
Okay, so it's quite a big question. But
in a
nutshell, shamanism tries to bring together, or the way it's taught in kind of Western countries, it tries to bring together all the core concepts and practices of the ancient indigenous peoples from across the world. So there might be some common approaches to spirit amongst all those diverse peoples.
Right. So how is shamanism applicable to trauma healing?
It's applicable to trauma healing because shamanism starts from a spiritual emphasis.
Okay.
And so there are two kind of ends of the spectrum to trauma, aren't there? There's the physiological aspects of trauma, and then there's also the spiritual aspects of trauma, where our sense of our identity is damaged by the experiences that we have in life. And shamanic healing practice tends to address the spiritual level by helping to resource people with their guides and their true power with the spirit realm and with their spiritual identities.
So giving back a sense of power to someone that's been traumatized.
Exactly, and the role of the power animal is very important in that.
So what's a power animal?
Okay, a power animal is a spirit guide in animal form, and it's you could call it an animal archetype, but that's kind of sounds quite academic.
Yeah, sounds a bit.
It sounds a bit dry, doesn't it?
Yeah, a bit dry. But in fact, they can be quite fun. I think.
Fun, amazing, ingenious, spontaneous, and you build a relationship with your power animal. You get to trust them, and that in itself can be a significant factor in healing trauma, your ability to trust yourself again. and to trust your own power.
And yeah, to bring it in the animal, to bring the energy in the animal and the whole expression of the animal into your own body. And
Yes.
yeah.
The power animal is a very flexible energy. It is a healing energy, a channel. You can use it as a channeled healing energy. And once, with the help of spirit, you've identified the power animal that you need at this time, it can be brought back and merged into your own energy field to boost and protect your energy
so
field.
It can be an ongoing experience that you have that power animal that you can draw upon any time.
Oh yes, definitely.
So it's not just in the session.
Not just in the session. No,
Okay.
The wonderful thing about power animal work is that you take that power animal home with you, and you can go on to develop the relationship further. Yeah, for sure.
And how do you use your drum? I love the sound of the drum.
Oh, yeah.
It's so soothing.
Okay, yes. Well, it does have an effect on the brain. In the healing session, we'll be using a fairly gentle, regular, monotonous beat that creates a sense of flow in the background to our dialogue, to my dialogue with the client.
It's a bit like a heartbeat.
It is. It's very much like the heartbeat of the earth.
Calm beat.
But it also creates movement, and a shamanic journey where we go into spirit to answer the questions for the client that the client has about their healing. And the drum beat actually helps to create the movement for the journey. So it's an ongoing experience that is unfolding, and that we hold together and that we discuss together.
And is a shamanic journey safe? Is that a good thing to do?
Well, absolutely. There are 3 kind of golden rules, if you like, to safeguarding this practice. The first one is to create sacred space.
Okay.
Yeah, so using a form of cleansing for the room that you're in, possibly sage, which is traditional.
You would burn that?
Would burn sage, and it would help to shift any heavy energy that was there.
I love the smell of sage.
It's powerful stuff. Always makes me hungry, actually.
Really?
It's got such a lovely savoury smell.
Oh, it does, yeah.
And then we also protect the sacred space by calling in the directions in order to protect the whole space that we work in. And then we do other things to safeguard the journey.
So you
as well.
really consciously set up the journey in a way that's completely guided by the client as well?
Oh yes, it's not a random thing. There's discussion beforehand.
Yeah, so you bring in what is important for you, what helps you feel good.
Yes.
What gives you a sense of a connection or power or whatever.
Oh, resource
safety.
or comfort.
Yeah.
What works for you. Sometimes people are very work with their own crystal collection, and sometimes they'll have a crystal that they'll bring with them.
Oh right, so but you can bring your crystals if you come and work with Rosemary.
because that's already a resource for people. So if they want some extra support during a journey, during an experience that's new for them, then they're very welcome to bring a crystal friend along with them. But the other thing that we do is we discuss beforehand what we're trying to heal. So we have a strong idea of an intention for our exploration. And then anything that happens in the shamanic journey, any of the visions that come up or the awareness that comes up, is then related back directly to the intention.
To that intention that was set up.
And in that way we're getting a sense of what the answer is or what the solutions might be.
Otherwise it could feel very random and disorganized. Oh yes, well I saw a white antelope going across the plains or something like that, but if it's in relation to
an actual question, then we understand better what we're seeing.
Yes.
And then
very important.
And then the third thing that we do is that we build a relationship with a power animal. We always journey in spirit with a trusted guide.
Oh right, that's really important. Yeah, to do that, and you feel like you've got somebody by your side that's really supporting you.
That's there for you.
Yeah, because often when we're traumatized, things have happened in such a sudden out of the blue kind of situation, and suddenly there's no safety, there's nothing to hang on to, there's no hope, and there is terror. You're frozen in terror. To go back through that experience with creating a sense of there's someone, some being there that's supporting you and guiding you.
And that is there solely and only for your highest good.
Yeah.
Which is the stipulation we lay down before we go looking for a power animal.
At the start.
At the start.
Yeah, because there's all sorts of energies that could come in, all sorts of distractions. So you set the intention, set the field that whatever it is here is only for the highest possible good
of the client. Yes.
Yeah. Not for your good.
Well, for the client and for everything. Everything will be included in that, in a sense. There's harmony.
Because of the interconnectedness of everything.
Yes.
Yeah, so what's good for the client is
good for the whole.
Good for the whole.
In the end.
So we're working for, yeah. Yeah, that's really important. And so you run a variety of shamanic retreats with different focuses.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot available. We can vary the retreat according to the client's needs, what their healing focus is, what their abilities are. Some people are focused more on learning the skill of journeying, shall we say, so that it's almost a sense of a self-development retreat, so that they can get a really good, authentic taste of what shamanic journeying actually is, so they can learn themselves to journey to the beat of the drum.
Oh, I see, okay.
And they can learn themselves what their power animal is, and then how to journey by themselves when they go home.
That's really useful.
Yes, so we're taking away a real skill for spiritual self-development. But during that experience of that retreat, healing might pop up spontaneously as well. And then another kind of retreat, a different kind of retreat, which I would call the Shamanic Soul Retrieval retreat, is held more as a healing experience, in which one has the opportunity to go very deeply into trauma in a paced and a held and a safe way, so that one can unravel that trauma experience and bring in solutions and create a new outlook and a new perspective, with the final goal of bringing back the lost soul energy, the lost positive, the lost light, in whatever form that energy takes.
So that's doing that kind of healing work. It's not terrifying, is it? A lot of people don't want to do trauma healing because they think, oh, I've got to go back and dig up all this stuff. It's about what is actually resourcing and helps transform.
Yes.
Especially when you're working with shamanism.
Yes, and very much so. So with the soul retrieval retreat, the first thing we would do is perhaps a lighter experience where we would resource a power animal for the client. It might be the first time they've ever connected with the power animal. It could be that they have some experience with shamanic work and already have a power animal. But what we lay down first of all is the main resource for them, and then when we've got that resource up and working and identified, then we go a little deeper by degrees into the more personal experience of trauma.
So you're very much tuning in to the needs of the person that you're working with and assessing and from your skill base and understanding, knowing what is important to present as a possible way for them forward. And
to honour what the client is feeling. And to acknowledge if they're feeling scared and to pause there. And not to make anyone feel rushed, because that will just intensify any trauma that's there. So it is very tailored to the individual need, and sometimes that's in the moment, because you can't always plan for everything.
No.
But it's important to be in the moment and to tune into what that person's needs are at that time, and to hold back a little or pause a little on the overall goal, because the journey is very important, and the experience of the journey is important.
These are really important points. So it's really useful to know that sorry, my mind's suddenly gone blank. Rosemary, not only has she done all this shamanic training and has been practicing for a very long time, but she's also done the trauma skills training with me that's informed by the neurological research of Bessel van der Kolk and Dr. Peter Levine, and other trauma cutting-edge researchers, and that you really have a good understanding of the neurology of what you're working with.
Yes.
So that's a powerful two-sided approach to working with trauma, because you have to allow the reintegration of energies and the reintegration of what's happening with the nervous system and the brain, and that you can't just charge ahead with something.
No, you can't be too fixated on a goal or getting this plan done in the session, because people's bodies need time to express what they need to express and what they need to release.
So you're very tuned into what's happening with the person's nervous system,
Yes.
and where they are in that phase of what's going on with the nervous system, whether they're exiting from the freeze response, or whether they're in fight or flight, or how to manage that for the maximum amount of resourcing and releasing of that kind of activation in the nervous system. That you're very aware, very sensitive, and you have then the whole array of shamanic understanding to support and resource the person to go through that experience.
And the grace of spirit to hold the experience in one bubble of safety as well. Yes. Yeah.
So that sounds wonderful. Yeah. So Rosemary, is there anything else that you want to share about the work that you do?
I think the fact that it's really helped me. I am doing this work because I've experienced the healing that's possible within it, and it's ongoing. You know, my work with myself is ongoing, and I try to come to a client with that same sense of grounded reality about the challenge and the rewards of healing work. It's an ongoing thing for me. I am very grateful for my guides in my life helping and supporting me, and I would just like to open that possibility, that other avenue of help to my clients as well. And we're talking about quite serious things here, but the injection of power animal energy can also make it kind of fantastic and enjoyable and special and wonderful and funny sometimes too. So my work is not without a sense of humour, but hopefully in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. So Rosemary is a very what could I call you? It's very alive, real, caring, compassionate, and authentic person, and
I do try.
Try.
And we all need help.
We
all need help.
We all need help. But you've come from that real place of going through the experiences yourself, and really going through those growthful steps. And
yes. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here today talking to you, Juliet. And that's the truth.
So I hope that's been helpful for you, and you can see all Rosemary's retreat packages on the Healing Waters website, and there's links for what she's offering, and you do one-on-one sessions as well as
yes, we do one-off sessions, one-to-one sessions, and if the subject matter is appropriate, sometimes I even do small group retreats. For example, with the shamanic journeying self-development, I do that with groups of 2 or 3, as long as I can handle kind of small group work as well, but that would need to be discussed.
Yes, ahead of time.
Yeah.
And you do Skype sessions as well.
Before and after coming to Healing Waters, you could get kind of taster sessions, or we could build a rapport and understand what your needs are with a Skype session first of all, and then after, if you need more follow-up support, or there's something else you'd like to develop or experience or try, then we could do Skype work after coming
Yeah.
to Healing Waters.
Because that's how you worked with the lady who came all the way from Australia to
That's
do
right.
a retreat with you.
Yes, I did several
Yeah.
sessions getting the time zones right, just about right for both of us.
Yeah, that's a trick in itself.
Yeah, especially from Australia.
Yeah.
No, a wonderful client, amazing lady, and we did some preparatory work that really helped her come here in the first place. Yeah.
Okay, nice. So would you like to drum us out or offer any other
What-
any other
What shall I
little
do?
token of
Okay, so I'm just imagining that the vibration of this drum is radiating out like a heartbeat and out towards all of you. And on that sound vibration, carrying blessings for your day and blessings for your life.